Everyone, it's Patty from PS Paper Crafts. Thanks for joining me today. This week I've been featuring the designer series paper. It's a specialty paper actually. It's called Joyous Noel and it has this beautiful copper designs in some of them. I don't know if you could see the shine in it. So on my blog I've been featuring that and you can see all the different sheets, but let me just show you a little quick peek of it. So see, some of it has this copper foil and then some of them don't. It's really beautiful, and if you wanted to see more you could look at my blog pspapercrafts.com. So I wanted to make a card with it, and I love designer series paper because it gives you such a good starting point, I guess. So having a layer of this paper just on this is Mary Merlot cardstock, it just makes it pop right off the bat. I also use this dashing deer to get my sentiment, happiest Christmas wishes, and this comes with some dies or thinlets, framelets. I always get confused whether they're thinlets or framelets. And I use this deer and I cut him out in the glimmer paper, and the glimmer paper coordinates with that same designer series paper. So it comes in Tranquil Tide, Mary Merlot, and then this copper. So I thought I would do the copper, and I thought it was really pretty. And this is really, it doesn't come off, the glitter. It's called glimmer paper, but it's glittery. But it doesn't come off. It's pretty sturdy. So it was easy to cut out with my Big Shot. So first I cut this out of the copper, and then I also did some embossing. So let's step through it. Let me first get my Big Shot here and do a couple of things with the Big Shot. I'll put my card aside, and I have it all ready to go here. And I'm just going to lay this deer, see if it fits here. And I have my precision plate on that bottom because the antlers are pretty detailed here, and we want to make sure that we don't have any problems with getting them out. I did do this with what was it, the gold paper, foil paper, and it was very difficult to get these out, but this is a thicker paper. This actually worked out pretty good. And I have my handle on the wrong side, but we're going to go with it. Let me see. No, we're not. We're going to turn it around. I apologize. I don't think I could roll it that way. So I'm just going to roll it through, and I'm going to do it a couple of times, back and forth, because I really want this guy to come out pretty easily. I mean, he's not going to just pop right out, but it's not too bad. Okay, so we went through 4 times. Let me just take this off, and while I have the Big Shot out, I'm going to do my embossing. So let me take the precision plate off, and I'm going to open this up to tab 1. So I'll just take this, open it to tab 1. I'm going to put a plate on, and what we're going to do is emboss the snow here. And what I did was I took a piece of Whisper White and I cut it so that it would be the length here. So my card base is 5.5, and then this layer is 5.25. So I did 3 times 5.25, and then I took this die, where is it, from In the Woods, and it's just like a hill. So I cut it in half. I kind of laid this across and cut it in half. It didn't go edge to edge, so I just snipped each edge. So I got 2 for the price of 1. How's that? So let me put this back. And then I'm going to use this, it's called Softly Falling embossing plate. It looks like snow, and there's kind of a lot of snow on the bottom and a little bit on the top. So I wanted the kind of a lot of snow. So I'm going to just put this in my folder, lay it straight, and I want my hill to go this way with the embossing up. So I want the stamping up and the Sizzix to be facing me. That means it's the embossed side is up versus the debossed side. Hope that makes sense. So I have a plate down. I'm going to put this in. I like to have the fold going in, and then I'm going to put another plate on it, and I'm just going to run this through, and then we'll be done with the big shot. So we have a lot of different techniques here. So we have dry embossing. We're going to do the heat embossing as well, but we'll get to that in a few minutes. Let me just get this out of the way. Okay, so let me show you what that looks like. Isn't that pretty? And you could use either side, but I wanted the hill to kind of go this way, and I wanted it to be popping out. So let's see, we've got that piece done. We've got the deer, and let me just show you this kind of, you could pop it out. This is how I've been doing it. It's a little bit delicate. I take my what I call the pokey tool. I pull it out of here, and then this is I'm just going to pop out these. There's 3 pieces that will just actually pop out. We'll get rid of them. This is called a piercing tool. I couldn't think of it for a minute. And then I just go from his feet, and I just take my time with this. You could use that brush tool, but I didn't really want to brush the glimmer, and this actually isn't too bad. So I'm just going to go all around like the edges and get him out, and then you have to spend a little bit more time in the antlers, but it's really not too bad. This paper pops out pretty easily. So let me just grab up here. So again, I'm going to start with like the outer edges and then work my way in. But I think this is really very pretty, the glimmer on it. So that's good. We're just about done. Let me see if we can pull him out a little bit. Sometimes you could just pull him up. There we go. Okay. So let's put him back. So now we have our deer and we have our snow. Let's do our sentiment. So I embossed this with copper embossing. If you didn't, you could just stamp it in the Merry Merlot, or you know, a black or anything like that. So let's get our, I've already cut this out. This was with the layering circles, one of the scallop circles. So I'm going to just wipe it with my embossing buddy to make sure that the embossing powder only goes where I want it. I have my stamp mounted, and this is very tight on this this scallop circle. I really didn't want to go bigger, so it really goes, the words go end to end. So I'm just going to try to look over it and stamp down. Now you can't see it, but you will. I love heat embossing. To me, it's like magic. So I'm going to get my copper, keep it in a little plastic container, and just be careful not to touch where you stamped. And I'm going to just pour some of this embossing powder right over it, and then you'll see the words appear. And just kind of hit it. I want to get the rest of this word here. It's kind of a small piece, so you have to be careful. Okay, and if you had some stragglers, you could use a paintbrush to get them off, but I think this looks pretty good. So let me put that aside, and now I'm going to have the heat tool. Actually, I'm going to put this on a little clipboard. One of my customers gave me this little clipboard, and it's pretty good so you don't burn your hands. And then you're going to hear a little bit of noise here while I do my embossing. And let me go turn it on. And hopefully you can see this as it turns. If you've never seen it, it's almost like magic. It's pretty cool. See, it's starting to turn, the HAPP. You want to make sure everything is shiny. If it's not shiny, it will just brush off. So that's how you know it's done. So let me just take a quick look at it. Hopefully you can see that it changed. It's now all shiny. Isn't that pretty? And the copper is great. I have a bunch of different colors, but I really do like the copper. So now we get to put our card together. First I'm going to just lay this down on top of the card base. And let me get some snail here. And we'll just... Okay. Isn't that pretty? So glittery. Okay, and then with the snow, I'm going to use my liquid glue. I like to use liquid glue when I have something embossed, just so that it gets into all the areas. Sometimes if you, so when something's bumpy, it doesn't pick up the adhesive as good. So I really love the liquid glue. A lot of people don't like it because it oozes out, but it does dry clear, and you can use a gum eraser to remove it if you needed to. So I'm going to go right to the edge of my designer series paper. Go edge to edge here. And the other thing about the liquid glue is it gives you a little bit of time to get things in the right place. Now with the deer, I just used some dimensionals. I'm not going to worry about his antlers or his legs. I'm just going to put them on his main body, and I'm actually going to cut some to go up his neck. So I'll just cut the edges like that, and then we can put that right up his neck like that. And I think that's plenty to put on. You know, he could be a little bit free flowing. And we'll take the backings off. That's what I'm doing off camera here. I'm just taking the backings off. And then we can place him where we want him. It's a pretty easy card once you have the pieces cut out. And then I'm going to pop up the sentiment as well. Now you could add some sparkles, some rhinestones or something to this, but I think for me there's enough sparkle with the deer and the gold foil and the embossing. And then on the inside, I just stamped in Merry Merlot. You can certainly emboss the inside if you want as well. I love this Merry Merlot color. It's very pretty. And I just did the one sentiment that's from the Dashing Deer set. And I'm going to go for it directly on. Just line up my card a little bit. And I try to line up the bottom to see if I can get it straight. It's a little crooked, but I think it's okay. And then I just took this other kind of floral image and I put that below it, and I'm using Mossy Meadow, which, to be honest, I didn't like when I first got it, but I really love it. I think it's very elegant. Okay, and then we can put that right in the inside. Is that too crooked? I'm going to give it a whirl on the other side just to see if I can get a little straighter. If not, I'll use that side. It's a good thing there's two sides to every page, right? So I'm going to do the Merry Merlot again. I feel like my paper is, maybe it's my, I'm going to go up a little bit higher, I think, too. I think I like that better. You get two chances, which is a good thing. And then let me get this bottom back. Isn't that pretty? And you could probably color in on that if you wanted to get red flowers and with your markers. So then let's put this down on the inside of our card and we'll be done. Pretty simple card. This paper is just gorgeous. So check out again my blog, and you could see other projects and information details. You can purchase any of the products I used right from my blog. I have a link to my online store. I'm loving the holiday catalog. So what do you think? Let me know, and thanks for joining me. You have a good day. Bye.